Hi everyone, welcome back to the Sports Breakdown once again. We are going to do the PSL update over here. I mean the PSL preview. Review. Sorry, match two of PSL review between Peshawar Zalmi versus Quetta Gladiators. So we know Peshawar Zalmi beat Quetta Gladiators. I would say in a close match, but Peshawar somehow easily managed to win this match at the end, but it was a close contest. But yeah, Quetta scored 190 obviously. So we'll be discussing this in English, Urdu, and English and Urdu. So I brought in Bhasker sir, who will translate you guys from both English and Urdu, because we have a Facebook page. We have Pakrik also on this. Also, we are going live on their channel, as their website as well. So yeah, before further ado, and please do follow the Sports Breakdown on Instagram and Facebook, please. It will help us a lot. Bhaskar sir, let's talk about the first innings of Quetta Gladiators. So, the opening partnership between Will Smith and Asan Ali, how good were they in the first 15 overs?
So
You can.
I'll say before getting on this, I think a couple of things I noticed about PSL because I was watching it. One is obviously the toss and the due factor coming in like all IPL, and we saw that obviously team Peshawar winning the toss and choosing to field, which was not a surprise to me. I think the other thing was also I noticed that the boundaries in the Karachi National Stadium was quite inside, right? So they are
Yeah,
obviously a lot of catches as we saw in the game were very close. There were two catches which were referred. So those were two like macro factors which were looking at PSL when they were playing there. But I think like I actually thought that their bowling was okay. So I will speak in Urdu also, as you're saying. तो जो जो क्वेटा की बैटिंग थी वो तो ठीक थी, बट मेरे ख्याल से दो चीज फील्डिंग और बॉलिंग दोनों बहुत खराब थी. मैंने मैच देखा कि सारी बॉलें लेग स्टंप में थी जब उनके फील्डर थर्ड मैन और फाइन लेग दोनों बाउंड्री सर्कल के अंदर थे, जिसके कारण काफी बाउंड्रीज वहां मिली और चार कैच छोड़े उन्होंने. तो चार कैच छोड़े, एक कैच तो पैट ब्राउन आगे थे और उन्होंने बॉल मिस हो गई, और बाकी तीन इजी कैच उस्मान खादिर की बॉलिंग पे एक एक कैच छूटा विल स्मिथ का. तो पहले 15 ओवर में जिस तरह की फील्डिंग और बॉलिंग हो रही थी और कैचिंग स्पेशली, इसके कारण काफी अच्छा उन्हें स्टार्ट मिला और जिसके कारण उन्होंने पूरा फायदा उठाया. So what I was saying was that because of the poor fielding by Peshawar and poor bowling,
yeah,
also bowling short of the length, short
yeah.
balls on the leg stump and middle stump, the openers actually took a toll. But
Mm.
actually, I honestly think that because the openers batted so long, and had a start of 160, 155 runs in that way, and it
Yeah, one.
hardly gave their middle order batting any chance.
Mm.
Ben Dickett got out very early, which basically meant that they were not able to get that kick which they were supposed to do. And given that they lost a match, you would say that at 190 was under par. Yeah.
Very true. Yeah, and yeah, obviously talking about Will Smith. What innings that he played? 97 of 62. He was a bit slow towards the end, but could have got the first PSL 100 in my opinion for Quetta Gladiators, but unfortunately he didn't. But his shot selection was really good, and especially his pull shot. The areas that he batted mostly on the onside, most of his runs are on. 33 runs dominant over there. And Hassan Ali is also a young Pakistani who could get a chance for Pakistan also in the future. So thoughts on their innings? Smith most Smith's innings. Your thoughts on how he played yesterday?
Yeah, so I think Smith, obviously, given that he's from English Somerset, he is very good at pace bowling. And then and I wouldn't say that Peshawar bowling was that strong. In fact, I think Peshawar's strong suit was
Yeah.
batting overall, and obviously, and Quetta had packed this side with all rounders, so they had a lot of bowling options. So in fact, they would be very happy that they scored 190. But he was hitting the pacers just short of the length balls all to mid wicket. That seems to be his get out shot, and we can see in the wagon wheel that most of his runs were on leg side, and he was not actually batting very fast. But later he picked up in the momentum, and this slow like medium pacers came on, and he took a big toll on medium pacers. I think Ehsan Ali innings was much better. Because he was going at a much faster rate, and then he was hitting the ball all around the wicket. And he was tackling the spinners also quite well. Yeah.
Yeah. But the only impressive bowler was Usman Khadir yesterday for Peshwa Zalmi. 2 for
Yeah.
20 of 4 overs. The only spinner that was doing well, the rest of the bowlers were very poor. But this guy is a high quality bowler. I mean, for Pakistan. I mean, in the future, so he can perform for Pakistan. So yeah, your thoughts on Usman
Yeah,
Khadir
I
and
think, oh,
yeah.
yeah, we know the history of Usman Qadir. Like he was frustrated with the Pakistani selectors, and he went to Australia to play with Perth Scorchers, who won the BBL final yesterday. But I think he's a very good bowler, and he had a very easy catch dropped early on. And I think if that catch was taken, they would have easily got the total down to 170. So उस्मान गादिर ने बहुत ही अच्छी बॉलिंग की, उन्होंने एकदम स्कोरिंग को भी रोका रहा, और बिल्कुल कैच भी ड्रॉप होने के बाद भी हटे नहीं, और उन्होंने ही स्कोर को 200 से बचाया. So I think overall, obviously leg spinners, we know in T20 finger spinners are doing well, and I think Usman Qadir, I don't know whether about Test, but in one days also he can play a big part because he seems to have the stamina and control to bowl long spells overall. Yeah.
Yeah. So do you think that 190 was enough? Because for me, I don't feel like 190 was enough on this pitch. Even though Quetta was satisfied, I felt like it's like a. I think they could have scored 15 or 20 runs with the opening partnership they had. Then
Yeah.
on this pitch, I feel like 210, 215, they should have got close to. I mean that target. Your thoughts on the score that Quetta put at the end?
Yeah, so I think it was a bit short given the start they got, the fielding and the due factor coming in, given that they lost a toss. And also, if you look at it, I think the partnership went very long, which actually kind of was not very beneficial for them because their late order hitters did not get a chance to come in. So, and I don't think Smith was batting in such a high strike rate overall, and they could not take a toll on the last few bowling in that way. So overall, I think everybody thought that 190, you can never say it never, because you get a couple of early wickets. It's a good total in that way. So it was a bankable total, but with the pitch and also the weak bowling which these guys had, Peshawar had. If you look at Peshawar, I think besides Usman Qadir, they like Shoaib Malik bowled 1 over. Hasnain Talat, who's a batsman, he bowled 2 overs. Pat Brown is like a rookie. He's not an international class guy. Sohail Khan is over there. So they, if you look at the bowling lineup, they have only one bowler, Usman Qadir, who's playing for the national team. Whereas if you look at the Quetta Gladiators team, they have got Hasnain is playing, Nanan Shah is playing, okay, Sohail
Mm,
Tanveer is there. So
mm,
given that equation, if you look at it, they would have been 190 was a okay score. I would say at a batting team, I would be happy. I'll take 190 in that regard,
mm,
but
yeah.
it was obviously short because of their poor fielding also again. Yeah.
Very true, very true. Yeah, and also your thoughts on now the bowling rotation of. I mean, they didn't have Wahab Riaz yesterday. Obviously, he's recovering from COVID. If I'm not mistaken, he was COVID positive, so he won't come for the first two matches. If I'm not mistaken, but Shoaib Malik being captain, what were your thoughts on this? Especially the bowling performance. So Sohail Khan was very poor yesterday, going for 51 runs. Samin Gul also was very poor. So the tactics that I mean bent cutting and Shoaib Malik himself could have bowled himself I mean one more over at least. So
No,
your
but
thoughts?
yeah, but actually, if you look at the match, I would not say that these guys were bowling bad. Sohail Khan also had two catches dropped, and went for, and after that you six. So usually, what have seen the trend even in international cricket right now is that
Yeah.
once the catch is dropped, the next ball will go for a boundary because the bowler is depleted, and then the field is the same, and he is lined up and he's trying to throw a ball. So I think
Mm,
obviously they bowled, as I said initially, that the quality of bowling and fielding was not there, and I think this is also because this is the first match in PSL, so I expect the
yeah.
quality to improve much better because the PSL standards are quite high. But and obviously
Mm,
Wahabia is not being there. But I would think that it was a fielding which let down, and I think I would not blame the bowlers that much. Once
okay.
you drop the openers in that way, and then they have the full license, they are taking much more risk, and then this is very obvious to happen. I think it's a domino effect of dropping catches and not taking
Yeah.
early wickets. Yeah.
Shankar here says Usman is like his dad Abdul Qadir. Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean
yeah,
yeah, it's valid.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He's a leg spinner, but I don't think his googly is that good as Abdul Qadir. Obviously,
Hmm.
Abdul Qadir are all-time great bowlers in that way. But
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
he's
true.
doing well in T20 circuit, and I think he plays in CPL also. So PSL,
Yes.
CPL, and then BBL experience he has. So yeah,
Mm,
quite good.
very true. Yeah. Hamza says, hi. Any Sri Lankan players in PSL? No, unfortunately, because of this NOC certificate issue happening, so they are not allowing Sri Lankan players who are in that circuit right now, who are playing for the national team to play for franchise cricket right now. maybe for the IPL, but I don't think anyone's playing for PSL, because PSL and BPL is clashing, and they didn't give Kusal Mendis and Danushka to play for the Bangladesh Premier League also. So I don't think so. No one's playing.
Yeah.
Sri Lankans are not playing for the PSL this time. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
I think
coming
also,
to
yeah, I think also because PSL clashes with the season of most other countries, right? So only the most foreign players
yeah,
which we are playing is seeing is the English players, and obviously we used to have some South African like Faf and Imran Tahir who are still there, who got a NOC or not playing international cricket. So those are
true,
the two
true.
countries where they get most of the representation, or if they pay big money, then I. But I think Andre Russell is playing in BPL right now, so
Yeah,
yeah.
BPL. Yeah.
Hmm.
We'll talk about the Peshawar Zalmi's innings, because two new openers here, Tom Kola Kadmo and Yasir Khan. It was usually Karman Akmal and Hatsazullah Zazai, but yesterday
Hmm.
I've gone with Kola Kadmo and Yasir Khan. Your performance, especially Yasir Khan, I think debut wise, I think he did a very good job. 19 years only, debut to score a 30 runs. That's very impressive for a
Yeah.
young Pakistan player right now.
Yeah, I think his innings were, in my view, the one of the best innings, because what he did was that after when he scored a 30 of 12, right, and obviously he got out,
Yeah.
he actually brought the
Yes.
run rate down from like 9.5 to 8, 8.5 for the whole match. And therefore,
Yes.
even though the match looked very close, only when I think Hussain Talat got out, and then Rutherford played 10 of 9. Before that, when Malik and Hussain were there, the run rate was totally under control. And that was essentially because Yasir Khan gave them such a head start by scoring 30 of 12, and that eventually led to. If you look at Heather Ali and Sheffield Refford could play like a run or ball innings because of that innings of such a big gap he had. And I think that was a very impactful performance. Obviously, he got out trying to hit another one and at the boundary. And I think Mohammad Nawaz actually took 3 wickets, and he was quite effective in the change of pace overall. But I think he also went for a lot of runs. So, but Yasir Khan, very good innings. And I think that
Mm,
was one of the key innings, and they should persist with him at the top, because if he
yeah.
comes off once in 2 3 matches also, I think it just relieves the pressure of everybody
Mm,
in the middle order. Yeah.
yeah. Talk about Kola Cadmo, do you think that he'll get a chance? Especially as opener we saw in LPL, he can bat at number three as well for the Jaffna Kings. Do you feel like he can be persisted at number three? It's his first match. Do you think he has to get more chances and to assess from that, or do you want to bring a Hatsazula Zazai back to the Peshwa Zalmi lineup?
No, but I think he's also the wicket keeper, right? So I think
Yeah,
Kamran Akmal and him are the straight drops, right? So given that he gives them
yeah,
the flexibility of opening plus wicket keeping, that is very critical for the lineup in that way. So I'm not sure whether any of this Heather Ali or Hussain Talat can. Hussain Talat was bowling anyway, so I don't think they have any other
yeah.
wicket keeper in
Okay.
that way, and everybody else was bowling. So I think
Yeah,
if
yeah.
Kamran Akmal is fit, and I know he had some problems with the management and the bidding and the category he was there. But I think
Mhm.
Pahavriaz
Yes.
and him
Yes.
have sorted the differences. So hopefully he should be back, and then it should be a much stronger lineup in that way.
Yeah.
Mm.
And talk about Hussein Talat, a very good innings at the end. 52. Do you feel like he can replace a Shoaib Malik in the Pakistan national team? I know Shoaib Malik also performed very well, but thinking about the future, do you feel like now for Mohammad Hafiz also has retired? So do you feel in the middle order, Hussein Talat or Haid Ali or even Shoaib Maksud actually from Multan Sultans? Those players will try to replace these two legendary players. Shoaib Malik and Mohammad Hafiz, because I don't know whether Shoaib Malik will actually play in the 2022-2020 World Cup. It will depend on the selection, obviously. So, your thoughts? Because
Yeah.
there's Asif Ali also in the mix. Yeah,
Yeah, so I think obviously the role which Shoaib Malik plays is very different from what Asif Ali plays or Mohammad Hafiz plays. So Mohammad Hafiz is like a number three enforcer at the top, right? Whereas Malik is kind of the like what Steve Smith does also, but he's slightly
yes,
bigger on this. Into more of an insurance batsman who can come and take on the spinners. And obviously, like yesterday also we saw that he hit the spinners of the lengths, mid wicket sixes in that way. So I think Hussain Talat has it, but I think Hussein Talat, currently, whatever I've seen of him, he's a much more aggressive batsman than Shoaib Malik in that way, because Shoaib Malik takes his time, sets him up with like old school type of batting which they do. So I have not seen, honestly, enough of PSL to see what other options they have. But to me, like one option is like Sarfaraz also is a quite a good batsman, and I think if he can also make a comeback, because now Pakistan, the top order is kind of sorted, right, with Babar and Rizwan, and the lower order is also sorted with Asif Ali. So I think Sarfraz actually to me is he did not get to bat yesterday, but I think he is one guy who can actually replace Shoaib Malik because he can play in both the gears. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. But Hussein Khasarat played a good innings, and Shoaib Malik somehow brought them back to the game. And yeah, talking about the bowling, I mean, Mohammad Nawaz, he might have got 3 wickets, but very, very expensive. But the thoughts on the death bowling, especially now. Yesterday, I was seeing now James Faulkner was bowling well after that third over, and that last over was very expensive, especially that 19th over. I mean, Shoaib Malik and Hussein Thalat targeted James Faulkner, and I think around 10 or 15 runs went in that 19th over, if I'm not mistaken. Do you feel like Naseem Shah could have bowled one before the last, and maybe James Faulkner might bowl the last over? The rotation between Naseem Shah and James Faulkner, because we know James Faulkner is a very good death bowler. But yesterday, what went wrong with both the seamers yesterday for Quetta?
So I think James Faulkner, like he has had ever since we know that he was in the World Cup 2015, he was the man of the match. But I think after that he was a big hitter, a good death over bowler. But I think ever since now most of his key weapon was this slower balls, right? But now we have known that most of the batsmen can read the slower balls much better. And then and he has also lost his pace, so his slow ball is not that effective. And yesterday also, I think they just read his slower balls and they were just lining up the length and hitting there. I think it was still a good decision to bowl Faulkner because Faulkner is more experienced and knows how to handle the pressure. But I think the two batsmen were quite set up, and also they had a lot of time due. Those factors. I think eventually I will blame this loss. If you look at it to their poor finishing at the start, and also they never put any pressure. If you look at it, there are two things which you do in a T20 game, right? You take wicket and stop the scoring. So as we talked about, the initial start by Yasir gave them such a good head start that there was no pressure with them, and they were getting boundaries every over. So this is one of those matches where it's kind of, you say, it goes to the script, that nobody can do much. You just the chasing team will just come and try to hit one boundary and take singles and win the match, and that's exactly the very professional performance by
Mm-hmm.
Zalmi. Yeah.
Yeah. And your thoughts on Safra's captaincy in this match? Because I mean, he used around 7 bowlers, always feel change in the field. His expressions on the field when he's always getting animated when something happens. So your thoughts on Safra's captaincy and his fielding placements, his bowling strategy yesterday.
Yeah.
How did you feel about
Yeah,
Safra's
so
yesterday?
I honestly think that like obviously there is he had got, like, if I looked at the bowling lineup, right, so there he had two like gun bowlers, which is Hasnain, who's coming with a very good BBL. He took 3 wickets in 3 balls, right, in BBL. He had
Yeah.
Naseem Shah, so two like international class bowlers he had got, and then obviously
Mm.
Faulkner and Tanveer are two bowlers who are not. Like, they are past their prime, but they can still
Yeah.
play. And then
Yes.
Nawaz, and obviously Nawaz was there. So in my view, obviously using Ashir Qureshi for 3 overs and not giving more overs to either Hasnain or Tanveer. I think that was short sighted because Hasnain, he has got express pace. He can come and bowl Yorkers, and initially the overs he bowled were in power play. So I think he should have backed Hasnain a bit more to bowl more overs. And then I think that would have given him more options, because I think the moment he decide that he is not going to bowl Tanveer, okay, Tanveer may not have the pace, and I would have not actually opened with Tanveer also. I would actually bowl Tanveer in the middle overs where he can bow cutters and he has more protection in that way. So I think his combination is there. The other thing which very surprising to me is, like, like we have seen in PSL regularly, that an Imad Wasim has made his name left
Yeah.
arm bowling in the
Yes.
power play. So Mohammad
Mm.
Nawaz actually should be bowling in. And I think he bowled a couple of overs in the power play,
The
but
power
I
play
think
he did 2 overs. He
two
bowled
over
2 overs.
there. Yeah. So I think at that time he was doing well. He took 2 wickets in the power play also, but I think maybe the dew came in that way. So he could
Yeah.
start with those overs also with Nawaz going up front and mix it up. But I think
Mm.
uh, the pace which Hasnain and both Naseem have. I think Hasnain should be used more intelligently, and I think he can
Yeah.
do a role like what Adam Milne or Lockie Ferguson do for New Zealand, right? Where they come after the power play and then try to stop the scoring and take wickets at that phase. Yeah.
Mm. Shankar has asked, has Hasnain cleared the bowling test for suspect action? I don't think so. No, I don't
Yeah.
think the test is
Yeah.
yet. I think there's 14 days for that to be done. I think, and he'll have to
Mhm.
do it soon after the Sydney Thunder. I'm not quite sure on that news though. I think he has to face a test. I think from ICC very soon. But until then, I think he can bowl. So
Mhm.
that's the usual policy, I think. But Shankar Rose has said Shoaib is like MS takes the game deep. Your thoughts on Shoaib Malik also? I mean, he took the innings very deeply and stayed there at the end, which was unexpected, and targeted Faulkner very well. I mean, four sixers, strike rate 150. He's showing his class. I mean, at the age of 40 or 41.
Yeah, he's just going to be 40. Okay, Pakistani ages you never know. Oh, as per Shahid Afridi's
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
biography,
The
but
age,
he has shown like he and Hafiz have shown like they that they have reinvented themselves. So if you look at Shoaib Malik, first he came as a off spinner, then he became a top order batsman. He opened up batting also in test matches, not all only, and then now he has
mm,
established himself at this T20 franchise, especially playing PSL and
yeah,
CPL. Is one of the big stars in CPL. So I think this match was like, as long as he's fit, these players I think in T20 is actually very conducive for older players. So I think when IPL also started, you would have seen in 2008 and 9, Adam
yeah,
Gilchrist, Sean Pollock,
mm,
Matthew Eden, all these people retired from international cricket and played a much longer time in T20s. And if you look at
yes,
Malinga also, right, you
yeah,
in at the Sri Lanka contest, I think because of the 4 over and the shorter game, it helps the experience. One, that every experience matters because the match is so crunch, every ball matters so much, and two, their fitness is not tested in that way. And I think the Shoaib Malik is a very smart cricketer. He knows who to target. He wait for those deliveries, and he just strikes in those zones. Yeah.
yeah, true. And talking about Peshawar's partnerships, we'll go through. Yeah. Yeah, it was. Yeah, this has actually Shoaib Malik and Hussein Talat very important. 81 over here, 81 of 51. They when they were sort of in trouble after I mean losing 3 wickets, but yeah, at the end they somehow managed to win this comfortably over Quetta. I would say at the end. Yeah. So let's go to the preview. I think we analyzed much on the PSL match two. I mean, let's do a very short preview of the match three and four. So there's two matches going on in the same pitch, Karachi. I think until next week, I think they are going to play at Karachi, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Multan Sultans won their first match. They are up against Lahore Qalandars, so it's going to be very interesting. Yeah, if Bhasker says that, do you think, Multan Sultans will go with the same 11? Or your thoughts? I mean, after that win they took in in match one.
Yeah, I don't think there's any reason to change in the first match, especially when it is successful and there are no injuries. We know, for in the last match, obviously Afridi, Shahid Afridi, and Wahab Diaz were not available, but for them they have a full lineup in that way, and I would not change anything. The winning lineup, they had a very easy, comfortable win in that way. So Lahar
Yeah,
Qalandars, I think very star-studded. You know, Hafiz is there, Zaman is there. So I think, but this will be a good match because the matchups are there. Both sides have a gun leg spinner, but I think still what Rashid Khan is arguably the most valuable T20
yeah,
commodity, right? So I think with
mm,
him being there, the advantage it gives is that whether Lahore Qalandars is chasing or second, there's obviously an advantage. But even if they are defending with Rashid Khan on their side, they can actually be favorites even defending also. So I think
mm.
that will play a very big part in
And the
for
overseas picks will be a bit of a problem, I think, for Lahore because I think they're Phil Salt, David Weiss, Rashid Khan is obvious, Samit Patel is there, Ben Dunk is there, Harry Brook is there, and especially the opening slotters. Do you think Abdullah Shafiq might open with Fakhar Zaman, or will they go with Phil Salt, or maybe make Phil Salt bet at number three?
Yeah, so I think Phil Salt, those combinations are possible. I would bat actually Phil Salt if they want to give a longer run, then they might as well give him the opening slot so that he can do. But Harry Brook, I think Harry Brook was, also is a good option in that way. So they'll have to kind of
Yeah.
juggle and see who can adapt well to the Pakistani pitches. But as what I've seen, the pitches are very flat. The ball coming on and not enough pace on this, so people can just hit
Mm.
across the line. So any of those guys can be good at thing. I think what matters in this thing is that they have the bowling, and I think with Mohammad Hafiz there,
Yeah,
he can actually do a similar role as Shoaib Malik. Yeah.
very true. Yeah. Who do you think will win this match? Will it be a close match? Who, just like prediction, because I mean Shaheen Shafri, first time I think is captaining Lahore. Lahore has a solid side. Multan Sultans are in a winning ways. They are the defending PSL champions. So how do you see this match going on?
Yeah, so tough one to call, but I would think that with Rashid Khan and in the side and Fakhar Zaman, Mohammad Hafiz, I would kind of back Lahore Calendars, and Shaheen Afridi obviously is one bowler there. So I think if you've got two gun bowlers like Afridi and Rashid Khan, two of the best
Yeah,
T20 bowlers,
yeah.
I would tend to back them. And and
Hmm.
if I was the thing, I would actually bowl first as Lahore Calendars, try to restrict them, and then the batting with Zaman, Hafiz, like have a like a 160, 170 chase, which they should be able to do it. Yeah.
I think I'm backing Multan because I feel like Mohammad Rizwan has been in terrific form, very good captain I feel, and they have good bowling options over here. Imran Tahir has been fantastic in the last PSL. This PSL match also, match one, he got the most. I mean, the man of the match also. Yeah, they have good options as well. I mean, Shanawaz Dani, maybe blessing might come later perhaps. Roman Powell, I think, is right now in the England versus West Indies, so we'll have to wait for him to come. David Willey, I think David Willey has to improve a bit. Masood, Mohammad Rizwan, Shoaib Maksud, those three, top three are really solid, right, for Multan Sultans right now.
Yeah, I think top three are obviously very solid for them. I think it will be a like with facing Afridi will be a tricky in that way, and I think Afridi I think has got a best record of taking a wicket in the first over a T20 match. Right, that's a
Yeah,
stat which we saw, and then I think if
yeah,
they have to get by that one, but I would back Lahore Qalandars just by just the bowling. As I said that with
yeah,
both Afridi and Rashid Khan, it's tricky to face them.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We quickly go to match four also. It's Karachi Kings versus Quetta. This is going to be another interesting match because both teams have lost their first games. Karachi Kings, what went wrong in their first match? I mean, Baba Azam, captain, I mean, he didn't perform well. I mean, he went below 100 dose, which was unexpected. I mean, he was opening with Sajil Khan, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So, what happened? I mean, what happened to Karachi Kings in their first match? Joe Clark didn't strike well when he had a potential to do well. What happened to Karachi in that first match?
I think obviously they made a slow start, but I would not get drawn into making conclusions after first game because the toss everything it makes up. I think they're trying to sort out the combinations overall, and obviously this time they had the draft also. So it's if you look at what has happened is that all the teams which have won, their gun players have performed. And if
Mohammad Nabi,
obviously,
yeah.
people are performing. So the for first couple of matches, I think they have Mohammad Amir also, which is
Yeah.
also interesting in that way and how they use him overall. But
And I think Qasim Akram will be back. I think he's the captain of the Pakistan under 19 team. He was doing very well. Slow left arm orthodox spin. I think he might get a chance with how he was playing in the under 19 World Cup for me. I think he might get a chance because he was doing very well for Pakistan, yes, against Australia. Unfortunately, the other players didn't do well. But when they have Imad Wasim, I'm also not sure whether they'll go with two left arm orthodox spinners. That's what.
yeah, so but I think this the trend which I'm seeing in PSL is that there are a lot of all rounders playing. So every team has got 4 5 all rounders, and if you look at
Yeah.
even Karachi Kings in that way, they've got Gregory is kind of all rounder, and then I think Mohammad Nabi is all rounder, Tala they're seeing on Kasim Akram all rounder, and then
Mm.
who's Tom. So it
Yeah.
actually kind of becomes. What kind of all rounder you want. So because everybody is all rounder. So do you want a pace bowling all rounder, middle over all rounder, a left arm pace all rounder, and a lot of it depend on the matchups which are happening. Obviously, I don't have data on
Yeah.
each
Yeah.
batsman
Yeah.
in that regard, but I think
Mm.
he will definitely get a chance because what we have seen is that Pakistan. The national team as well as PSL teams, they try to blood all these people. Hassan, Naseem Shah, they're all in their early 20s. Yesterday, Yasir, we saw a 19-year-old coming through, so he will definitely get a chance. It's just that how they balance the side overall. And I think
Yeah. Right.
the two key players, I think, obviously, are Babar Azam and Imad Azim, two proven
Mm.
Pakistan stalwarts in that way, and how they can kind of carry the team overall and motivate them accordingly.
Who's the overseas player to watch out for? Will it be Joe Clark or Louis Gregory or? Any other? I think there is.
Yeah, so,
Sorry,
so
Nabi's also there. Yeah, and I
no,
think
yeah,
Nabi might
so
be got
yeah,
out
so
for.
Nabi is a proven performer. Everybody knows about it, given
Yeah,
that he's an year experience. But I think
yeah.
Gregory, he's a good dead bowler. He can bowl a lot of slower balls. And I would think that yesterday also we saw was that batting. Obviously, there was no Asif Ali, all those teams, but the and that over batting had left a lot of desired. And if he can come in and stop the scoring in the last few overs, it will really help the Karachi Kings.
Yeah. And we'll talk about Quetta also, even though they didn't play. I mean, they played yesterday, but Shahid Afridi is a big loss for Quetta. I don't know whether he'll come to the playing 11 actually, because he tested positive for COVID and he'll miss the first 4 matches. And I think they'll get Noor Ahmad back, I think, very soon from the Afghanistan under 19. So until then, he's not there. And I think Dan Lawrence also is not there right now. So, yeah,
And
but
then Umar Akmal also did not play yesterday, so I'm not sure
Umar
whether
Akmal didn't play yesterday. Yeah. So
yeah,
do you
and
think
head.
he'll get? I mean, but the thing is, Umar Akmal is a wicketkeeper batsman, right? Usually, I mean, Safras takes his position usually, but
No,
I
but
don't know whether Umar Akmal will get a chance though.
I think Umar Akmal will definitely get a chance somewhere there, because I think he's obviously, we know, the maverick type of personality, who can behave anyway. But I think most in tournament like PSL, you might as well back him and have in that way. I think also, I don't know whether Jason Roy was there yesterday and James Vince was
No,
there.
he wasn't there. I think
Yeah,
he's in the England versus West Indies 2020 series.
yeah.
So I think
So
he's
so they
unavailable right now. Him and Hetmaya, that's the issue for
and then
Quetta.
James Vince also, right? So
Yeah, James wins. Yeah, that's the thing.
yeah,
Yeah, but
yeah.
Will Smeed is a good, he's a good promising opener, and he may be able to cement his place for the Quetta team. Once I don't know, once Jason Roy comes, whether he'll take Will Smith's position. Do you feel that happening, or you'll back Will Smith for the rest of the tournament?
No, I definitely, if Jason Roy is available, he's a proven World Cup
Yeah,
winner, much more distinct. And like Will Smith, four drop catches, right?
yeah,
I think you should not go drawn up in that way. I think
true, true.
and he was really struggling against Kadir also. So I think
Mm,
he made the most of his time in the innings, talented guy. But obviously Jason Roy is a much different
yeah,
class
I agree. I
altogether.
agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. A bit disappointed of Ben Duckett yesterday. He didn't prove that much. I mean, with his bowling, his batting yesterday, he wasn't that great yesterday. Your thoughts on Ben Duckett's performance yesterday?
So Ben Duckett, he only played two balls, right? Like he tried to hit a reverse sweep very early in inning. They had got a very good
Yeah,
start, and then he tried that. So I think that was just, he was just playing the situation in that way. So with the
yeah,
start they had got, he might as well go for that shot. And he has a very good reverse sweep. He had done very well in the 100 and all the other tournaments. So it just for
yeah,
first match, I wouldn't draw too much of a
yeah.
concern. I think
True,
it's
true.
too early to
Yes.
draw on the tactics. I think what both teams can draw from this thing is that definitely I don't know whether it's because of COVID bubble or the match fitness is that, or is that the fielding was very shoddy both on in the air and the ground, and they should try to work on that one. And I think because you look at the scorecard, right, there's no run out in both
Yeah,
the matches, so you can see the quality of
yeah.
fielding which was happening in that
I
way.
agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah. Who's going to win in this match? I mean, I'm backing Karachi, I think, because I think Baba Azam and Imad Wasim, they're proven players, and I think Karachi might definitely make a comeback. But it will be a very close match. But I feel the Karachi team, especially Mohammad Nami, might make impact for me. And the openers, especially Shajil and I mean, Baba Azam will do a good job. And I'm backing Mohammad Amir also to do well. Mohammad Amir and Mohammad Ilas to trouble the Quetta batsman today, but it will depend on the toss, obviously, once again. But still think Karachi Kings is a bit has a better bench strength compared to Quetta. But your thoughts?
Yeah, so I think obviously toss is a very big factor, and I think also how Sarfaraz uses the bowlers, as we discussed and you had pointed out, become very important. I think
Yeah,
he has got a lot of options in terms of it, but I think he should do something unconventional, because if he just goes by the regular thing which he did yesterday, I think Babar Azam and his team will be quite heavy for in that regard. Yeah.
yeah. So guys, we'll end this stream. So thank you so much, Bhasker sir, once again for joining. And yeah, please do subscribe to the Sports Breakdown if you haven't, and please view it on the Puck Crick that is going on Facebook. Anyone watching it on YouTube, just check out Puck Crick. I put the link over there, so you can check it on Facebook. Yeah, thank you so much, guys. And yeah, we'll come back with the post match analysis today with both the matches. I mean, either tonight or tomorrow at the same time, like this. So let's see how it goes. But thank you so much, guys, and yeah, see you in the next video once again. Yeah, and goodbye,
Bye.
guys.
Bye.